Well, welcome back, Air Gunners. This is Zach from the Shooter Zone, where we are always staying on target. Well, hey, today I just wanted to start off by just thanking you for being here and looking at these videos. And if you haven't subscribed to this page yet, please click below and subscribe to this page. It really helps us out a lot. All right, so just hold on a minute. I'll be right back and we'll show you what's going on for today. Well, all right, what do I have for you today? Well, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and so I finally got everything together today and said, you know what, I'm going to put this together. And what it is this. I want to talk about what I feel is probably one of the most successful air guns made to date. Now, what do you mean by that, Zach? That's probably what you're thinking. So let me just say this. As far as this air gun, I will just mention it right now. The air gun I'm talking about is the Umarex Gauntlet. And so when I put around that the word successful, what do I mean by that? So I think there's probably 3 or 4 things. So let me just touch on those quickly. And then I want to just look at the small collection of gauntlets that I have and just kind of showcase them very quickly. So what do I mean by successful? Well, I think they've had great sales over the years, and I think that's always one of the things you have to take into consideration when you're talking about successful. The next is just that it's extremely reliable. It's proven to have been reliable over the years and dependable, and I think that's a big key to a successful air gun. 3, I think they're very accurate. And so again, the air gun's not going to be successful if it doesn't have the accuracy needed to do the job. And what is the job? Well, I would say for the Gauntlet, it's primarily probably small game hunting to, you know, decent size game hunting. And is it capable of putting together nice tight groups? For sure, certain models and calibers are. But I don't think it's necessarily designed for that primarily. Again, I think it has great accuracy, and it does a fantastic job of what it's designed for, which I think is primarily hunting. And so I think that's extremely important. The last is this. I think that the pricing on it is hard to beat in its kind of category. And so that's another important thing, because I think as air gunners look at the vast amount of air guns that are available today, I think as they're looking at everything, price is for sure one of the things they look at. And I don't think you can get another air rifle, especially in some of these models. I don't think you can get another air rifle in its price range that will outdo it. So what I want to do is this. Again, I said I have a small collection of gauntlets, and so I just want to go through the stages of these gauntlets as the years kind of went on. So why don't you hold on? I'm going to grab a couple and I will be right back. All right, the first 2 I have for you are what would be considered the first generation of gauntlets. Now, when these came out, they were considered to be a very great value for the money. I think it was originally probably one of the best values that you can purchase. The price was really good, and what came with these is great accuracy and good power. So I have here the first gauntlet that I got, and that is the 177 Generation 1. And I think the reason why I bought that originally was the great price, and I think it was on sale. So I said, why not? And that was probably, I don't know how many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I forget now, it's been so long. But it's proved to be a good air rifle in 177. 177 is one of those calibers that, you know, it's a little bit on the small side, and depending on what you're using it for, you want to take that into consideration. For sure, squirrel hunting, things like that. It is a great caliber for that. We move on to this. This is the first generation 25 caliber. Now when they came out with the 25 caliber, that really made a big difference, because originally I think there was only the 177 and 22, if I'm not mistaken. Then they moved up to the 25 caliber, and the 25 caliber really just gave this air gun a lot more potential, because it put out a lot more power. And this one, I have an aftermarket bottle on it and regulator. I have this set at 40 foot-pounds of energy. Some people have gotten more. They've set their regulators where they get more out of that. I really wanted this to be around 40 FPE, so that's what I set it for. And so this is great for squirrels, woodchucks, rabbit, possum, raccoon, any of those types of animals. This air gun is for sure great for that. There's still plenty of them out there today. Again, these have been reliable over the years. I can't tell you how many people are still shooting these. They are extremely accurate even today after these several years have gone by. And they were just a great bargain in the Gauntlet line to begin with. Hold on, I'm going to come back with a couple more and we'll talk about those. Alright, well the next one I have for you is what would be considered the second generation Gauntlet. And that is this one right here. This is the Gauntlet 2 in 22 caliber. So when they went to this, they went to a larger bottle, a little bit more power, new stock. They kind of redesigned a lot of things on this. And the second generation, for sure, improved on the first generation quite a bit. This one here, which isn't a Generation 2, though it looks like a Generation 2, is really the first generation Gauntlet 30. Now the Gauntlet 30, again, being that it's not a second generation, because it wasn't a first generation 30. This is the first Gauntlet 30 ever made, so it really is the first generation Gauntlet 30. Now when they came out with this Gauntlet 30, this thing changed everything. The power that you get out of this, I've gotten up to 120 FPE, 30 caliber, shooting I think 63 grain slugs out of it. And again, that made a huge difference, because the price on these, nothing really touched it. And even till today, I don't think there's anything out there that touches this air rifle for the price, along with the foot-pounds of energy, and along with the accuracy. Again, I would consider this to be a hunting rifle as well. And for sure, this will take things up to coyote size. A lot of people are using these for coyote, for small feral pig, things like that. For sure it can. In some states where 30 caliber is legal for deer, I've seen people use these for deer. Some people don't suggest it. I don't see the problem with it. People that are using these for deer in the states where it's legal, they're getting through and through shots. So upon impact on the deer, it goes right through and out the other side. So that just gives you an idea of the amount of power these things are capable of putting out. And again, this was a huge deal, and it still is a huge deal today when anybody asks for something to shoot hog and things like that. I'll always recommend the 30 caliber Gauntlet. This is, again, manufactured a lot differently than just a regular Gen 2, such as like billet machined receiver and some things like that really have brought this particular air gun up to a much, much higher level. And the reason why they needed to do that was they needed to have the accuracy there, and they needed to be able to control, obviously, the power that comes out of this. And there's nothing like a billet machined receiver to do that. All right, so that's this stage. Let's hold on a second, and I'll be back, and we'll get a couple more, and we'll take a look at those. All right, so next up is this. This is the Gauntlet SL25. So they moved from bolt action now up to side cocking lever. That made a big difference. Everybody wanted the side cocking lever, and it took a couple years, but finally Umarex came out with this, and this has really made this gun even better. The first generation cocking pressure was kind of stiff. When they came out with the second generation, it was a little bit better, but it was still a cocking bolt. And again, people they weren't as excited about that as side levers. So when they came out with the SL line, that really just made things even so much better. So you can see the progression in these gauntlets and how every generation it's just gotten better and better. Now this 25 here, I think they rate at about 50 foot-pounds of energy in 25. And this I'm going to do an actual review on because I just got this the other day. So the next video after this will be a review on this SL25. Here, and this on the side, it still says Gauntlet 2. So it is, but it's a refined Gauntlet 2, which they call an SL25, just to confuse you even more. All right, here we have side lever Gauntlet 30. So you can kind of consider this a second generation 30 because of the upgraded now no bolt side lever action. And again, this thing still puts out the same, you know, it depends on what you're using. If you're using like 44 grain pellets, about 100 foot-pounds of energy. But I've seen people get 120, 130, I think even, foot-pounds of energy, depending on what slugs you're using with this. This thing still puts pellet or slug one on top of the other. Typically I have it set in for about 50 yards. And literally pellet upon pellet right on top of one another. These 30s are just so accurate. Again, so it gets the same foot-pounds of energy, same bottle size, same everything. Really, they just went to a side lever, again, which really made this 30 even better. So that's kind of the progression of the gauntlets at this point. There's a lot more calibers and stuff in between, you know, to fill all the gaps, but again, you can't get them all. But I think this is a good selection of them for sure. And again, every single one of these gauntlets has just been awesome, and I still even shoot the generation ones even today. I mean, again, they're still so accurate that you kind of forget. You know, you pull out a generation 1 and you start shooting it, and you realize, wow, this thing still shoots amazing. So again, if they shoot amazing, I just keep them around. Why get rid of them, right? All right, so that's what I have for today. Again, we're going to come back and we're going to do a separate video on this SL25 that I just got. And you can go back and you can look at some of my other videos on some of these other models. There's plenty of videos up on those as well. All right, so until next time, shoot lots, be safe, and we will see you again soon. Take care now.